guys, follow along, and by the end of this tutorial you'll be able to make the same telephone box that I did. So you want 4 panels equal in size and length. I can't remember the exact length that I did, but yeah, just measure however big you want it to be. And then what I'm going to do is just start marking out the window pane, because we need 3 window panes. And right now I'm just also marking out the individual windows. As you can see in the picture, there's 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 in total, which is what you can see there. Now I'm going to cut this part out. This is very important and you'll see why, but make sure you keep that piece that you cut out. So you want to do exactly the same for 3 other pieces. So I've just clipped one on top of the other, and I'm just marking out like this, and then I'm going to go ahead and cut it, and I'll do this for the final piece. So you want 1 piece that's not cut out and 3 pieces that are, because our telephone boxes has 3 window panel pieces and 1 back piece, which is what you can see there. Now I'm just going to go ahead and use masking tape, and I'm just doing this to make the sides a bit stronger because the card isn't that strong and it bends quite easily. So yeah, you don't have to do this, this is optional, but this is what I preferred. Now I've just done all of the pieces and we're going to get to sticking them together. This is when it starts to just take shape. So yeah, just use a sellotape and stick the 4 sides together, but do not stick the door down. That's very important because we want to be able to open the door to access the telephone and everything else inside. So we're coming up to the door now, and what you'll see me do is only put sellotape down one side, and then that will allow us to open and close the door. Trim off any excess just to make it look nice and neat. And there you go, that's the basic structure of the telephone box completed. And as you can see, that's why it was important not to sellotape that bit so we can open it. Now we're going to move our focus onto the top part of the telephone box. Now this part is quite difficult. So as you can see where it says telephone, there is a strip that goes round the top, just as you can see there. I'm just labeling it just so I make sure that I don't get things muddled up. So front and then side, back and then side. But yeah, so what you can see now is I've just cut off a long strip, and that's what I'm attaching to the top because that's where we're going to put our telephone sign eventually when we get to the finer details. So the strip wasn't quite long enough, so what you're going to see me do is just add the extra strip. I scored down the side so it's easier to bend. There you go. And yeah, so I'm just making up that extra bit of the strip because it wasn't long enough, and you're going to see me attaching that to it as well. And once I've sellotaped it again, I'm just going to score down the side as well just to make it easy. By the way, you don't sellotape that bit because you want the door to open and close. So you just see me sellotaping just the edge onto that bit there. So now you can see that we've got our trim. That's what we're going to call it, trim, going around the top of the telephone box, and that's where we're going to put the lettering telephone. I'm just going to attach that bit there like that because obviously we want the door to open and close. So like we've done with the other 3 panels, we can't attach it fully. And just trim off any excess as you go along just to keep it nice and neat. Now we're going to move on to the roof of the telephone box. So when you go inside the telephone box and you look up, you see a red roof. So I just flipped it over and I'm just measuring the size of the roof, and as you can see there, I'm just cutting it out now, and this part's a bit fiddly. So yeah, remember you're attaching this to the inside, and yeah, just do that with sellotape. It'll be a bit clearer once the telephone box is flipped up the correct way again. But yeah, this part is the roof, guys. Just sellotape it as best as you can. That's the best method I've found. Put it on top and then attach it like that. So guys, now we're going to actually move on to the floor of the telephone box. So again, I'm just measuring out the square just to get the rough size. So obviously when you walk into the telephone box, there's a black floor in most of them. Some of them have red floors, but I'm just cutting that out now. And I'm just measuring it, just trimming off some excesses where I need to. And what you'll see me do next is just sellotape that to the bottom of the telephone box. Make sure you don't sellotape it onto the door, because obviously if you do that, then the door won't open and close. As you'll see soon, I'm just trimming that off, making it neat, and then now I'm going ahead to attach. So yeah, as you can see, I'm attaching it to 3 panels only and not attaching it to the door. Trimmed off the excess, and if you've got this far, well done, I'm proud of you. Now this is going to be the difficult part, but you're going to get through it. We're going to focus on the dome now. So I'm just drawing semicircles, and we're going to do 4 of these semicircles, because as you can see on the actual picture of the telephone box, you have these sort of half moon type shapes that go all along each side. So that's what I'm doing now, and I'm just putting it on to see if it fits, and then just trimming off any excess where it's required. But yeah, that's a pretty good fit. And you're going to need 4 of these, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to trace out and cut 4 equal half moon shapes. So these are the 4 half moon shapes, and yeah, this is how they're going to go across the top, as you can see with reference to the image, and that's where the crown's going to stick. So yeah, just attach them like I am now with sellotape, and then this is how they should be attached all together. You're going to fit it to the top. It's going to take some adjustment. So I realized mine were too big, so I just trimmed off a little bit on the edges, just so that it sits flush with the telephone box, and that fits a lot better. So we now have our semicircle shape done, and what you're going to do is just go ahead and sellotape the semicircle to the trim at the top. We're going to make the dome, and that's going to be in the next video. I had to split it up because otherwise it would just be too difficult to follow along. It'd be too overwhelming. But yeah, the door opens. We've got the roof at the top. That's the back, and then we've got the floor as well. And then those are our 3 window panels. But yeah, guys, don't forget to like, please subscribe and follow along. We're going to be creating the window panels in the next video and the dome that sits at the top. This is just a preview of what you're going to see in the next video. We're going to do the individual window panes We're going to finish off the dome and then start painting. Click for the next video. See you there.